Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about exactly how I get the incredible photos I get in the Louisiana swamp, and it's pretty easy. As you see, I'm in a kayak, um, and so I'm working on the water. There are times I'll get out and I'll wade, but I've really started staying in the kayak for the most part because it's stable and I don't have to worry about tripping with my equipment. So I just want to take a few minutes just to go over the tools and how I set up to ensure that my equipment's safe, but allow me to get those just incredible images that you see on my gallery. And so it all starts with the kayak. I use a Jackson kayak, and look, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so the stuff that you see is the stuff that I have because I feel it's the best equipment for this and it does the job very well. And so I use a kayak, a Jackson kayak, a Bite Rec, which is a recreational version of their fishing kayak. It's extremely stable. I don't have to worry about it tipping over on me. It's got a really comfortable mesh seat, and so you're not sitting flat. I can't do those kayaks, and so I have gone to this because it's got a very comfortable adjustable back seat with some good back support, and it's up off the deck a little bit, and so it doesn't hurt your hips. The next thing that's important that you saw me when I paddled in use is we call them Cajun anchors. It's an anchor pin, and I use that to hold the kayak in place. And I've got a mounting block here on the kayak that it just goes through. I do have a little rubber washer and a screw bracket that I can push down, and it's not going to stop it, but it does up the stability just a little bit. And so once I do that, the only thing I have to worry about is that kayak swinging in the wind or the current. And so when I'm setting up, I'm thinking about that. Where's the wind coming from? Is there any current? And then I set up and allow my kayak to turn, because as you can see, it will turn and rotate on that axis of that anchor. I can move it to the front if I need to. I can move my whole bracket up to the front, and I'll do that sometimes. But my goal is to put my tripod right here or right here. I want that tripod right next to me. The anchor pins are only 5 feet, and that works perfectly because you could just use a standard 5-foot tripod. You don't have to have anything special. I do have a 12-foot tripod that I use on my big boat when I'm in deeper water, but honestly, I haven't used that in a couple of years because I just enjoy this so much. Okay, so next is the tripod. Again, this is just a 60-inch tripod. It is a Benro Mach 3 carbon fiber. Man, I have absolutely abused this thing, and it just keeps working. I love this thing. Again, I'm not sponsored by Benro. This is what I use. I bought this because I love it. You'll notice that that I've got the screws for the legs locked down pretty tight. That's important because if you have legs that are really loosey-goosey, when you put it in the water, they're going to be moving, and you don't want that. And so I actually just took a Allen wrench and I tightened those down really well. And so, how do I set up? And I'll talk about the camera equipment here in a minute. The important thing is just taking your time. You're going to open your legs, make sure they're good and tight. And then you are going to simply put it in the water, and you want to push it down into the mud to make sure you've got a good, stable platform. I do, as much as possible, try to get it try to get it as level as possible so you don't have to worry about it tipping with the weight of the camera. And that's it. Now here's the thing, I'm in very shallow water right now. There are times that I have the entire leg assembly of the tripod underwater, and I will actually need to raise my column to work, or if I want a really low angle, I'll leave it. And so there's times I'm working inches from the water. And that can be a little nerve-wracking. And so that leads us to the camera equipment. And my kit is really, really easy. I have a Nikon Z8, and I'm videoing with the Z9. And then my workhorse really is the Nikon 24-70 f2.8. I do have, and I use this a lot, a Nikon 70-200 2.8. I use it a lot for scenes when the sun comes up, and sometimes even when I just can't get in deep enough water to shoot the tree I want, I'll use that 70-200 to zoom out and really sort of get in tight on a tree that may be in water that's a little bit too deep. All right, and so here we go. To place the camera, what you want to do, I like to put the plate really flat. You're working over water. You do not want to drop it, and when you're holding $5,000 plus in your hands, you start getting pretty meticulous. And that's the key, is taking your time and being meticulous. I put the plate flat. I like the Arca Swiss plates. I years ago worked off of those, I guess Manfrotto, the hex plates that lock down. I like the Arca Swiss because I can feel that I'm in that groove. I don't use a quick plate or anything. I know I'm locked down, and then I actually will try to pull it off of there, because you do not want there to be any mistakes when you're working over water. And that's really it. And then at that point, you're simply, you know, composing the image and shooting it. And we've got a airboat heading out. I don't know if you can hear it, but but that's it. It's really not as intimidating as a lot of people think. Some people are really worried, but I have everything I need to be in a stable platform, to hold my kayak in place. As you see, it's not moving. Now there's no wind and current here, but I will carefully compose. I'll carefully move. I will make sure everything's stable, and I use my timer, and it's really a great platform to work off of, and the images you get are incredible. Now, when I'm finished, you want to have a good hold on that, loosen it up, take it off. Every single time you move, you want to put your camera in your box and lock it, because you don't want to get complacent and put that camera on the top of the box. I do that sometimes, but I will tell you, I've had some close calls where the camera has rolled and I've caught it before it's gone into the water. And so I've really made it a habit of putting it up every time and then moving, pulling it out as I get my next setup. It takes a little more time, but it's a lot safer on your equipment and your pocketbook. That's it, guys. This is how, if you come to my workshop, you're going to work. And I have all the kayaks. And whether you come to a workshop or whether you and a buddy, I've got I can accommodate small groups. But if you want to come for a full workshop, or if you would like to come down and spend a day or a half day or a couple of days, I can customize the experience, and I will just tell you, I have lived in the swamp my whole life. I love being in a bigger boat. It allows me to get to different places a lot easier, but there is nothing like paddling through these swamps in a kayak, because you are low to the water. You have a different angle that you're looking at, a different perspective, and it really feels like you're part of the swamp. And so reach out if you are interested in the workshops or in a customized day or half-day trip to the Louisiana swamps. I promise you it'll be an experience that you'll never forget.